Rant is in reference to the Democratic debate last night between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. I'll call it the Democratic debate, the white gloves come off, basically meaning that 7 million people watched it approximately. Most of those people already knew a fair amount of politics. There probably wasn't too many people whose minds were changed from last night. Two things about the debate itself is that one, the amount of intelligence, the amount of courtesy, the amount of knowledge, the amount of understanding and grasp of the issues, and the practicality of what may actually become decent social policies was evidently completely on display last night, which is something you won't even remotely get close to seeing at any of the Republicans' debate, where it's all about, testosterone and fear. T and F. But I want to bring up just a couple things. The gloves came off a little bit. There's a little bit of rancor going on. At the same time, especially in reference to the healthcare plans that both of them are putting out. I mentioned one of these things on a comment about Krugman's article today in the New York Times. But we're getting to the point where, let's get it, both of them are very serious. They're both out to win. They're both willing to do what it takes to win, and it'll start getting dirty. And some of the things that are going to go on, we'll see how they play out. But if we take a look at Bernie, initially, he's still a novelty item. He really hasn't had a whole heck of a lot of negative press. He hasn't really been questioned a whole heck of a lot. He got sort of stumped at one of the earlier debates in reference to his gun policies. He comes from a very strong liberal background. He's been in a pretty safe state in terms of where he is in the Northeast. So he is going to probably be getting a heck of a lot of pushback on a number of things that he may not be expecting. Especially the biggest one will be his age factor, in that if he does get elected, he will be 75 by the time that he is actually inaugurated, almost 5 years older than Reagan was when he was inaugurated. Trump would be 70 and Hillary would be 69. So we're not talking a lot of spring chickens here. But he does have the novelty. He does have a very strong populist message. As voters are starting to look at how they may or may not vote, that aspect of his populist message will resonate with a whole heck of a lot of people. And we'll have to see how well it takes him. Because what we're seeing right now is that he has the lead in Iowa and New Hampshire. And of course, if he takes those two, can he then roll that over as it goes into South Carolina? Whereas on the national scale, Hillary is leading by about 25 points. What was it, 59 to 34, 58 to 35, something like that on a national scale. So, and in terms of Hillary, everyone knows who Hillary is. Everyone has an opinion of Hillary. There's probably been a couple $100 million spent on negative press for Hillary. Remember Ken Starr in the Whitewatergate issue was going after Hillary just as much as he was going after Bill, so to speak. And he spent $50 million. And of course, look at all the press that Hillary got in terms of the email in Benghazi, and nothing has ever been proven. Of course, our Republican friends will say, just you wait, and it's because of the complicity of the mainstream media. I would like to point out one thing about this. Yeah, people may say the mainstream media this and that, but they're smart. And they can sniff out something. If there was something really, really behind Benghazi or the emails, they would sniffed out. Then they'd be going after it hog wild. But there's nothing there. Also, the other aspect is Hillary is, just as I said, an easy punching bag. And there's been all kinds of money spent to take her down. She's well known. She has high negatives. But again, last night, she really had a strong grasp of the issues. She knew what she wanted to say. She ended up talking about Flint, Michigan, a very populous thing where the governor of the state of Michigan has appointed people to run Flint, Michigan over the elected officials. They decided that they were going to cut costs and bring the water in from the dirtiest source possible, and that brought in more lead into the water. Babies have blood levels high in lead. There's been possibly 10 cases of Legionnaire's disease where people have died. And of course, Hillary pointed out the fact is that the Republicans don't care. And the reason they don't care is they knew that this was going on for a long time, and they didn't do anything about it. That's something that the Democrats have on both Hillary and Bernie, and it's that compassion for the average working people, for the downtrodden, and that we want to find a way to make life better for them. And it's going to be a winner in either case. But in terms of the race, they want it, and they're going to go after one another.